Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur, author of Lean Six Sigma Demystified and the QI Macros. Now, we've been talking about how to develop rapport through breathing, through posture and pacing and leading, and using the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic words and the actual real words that they put into their language. So these are all things that we can learn how to do, and this will make us more effective. Now, I've talked to you about, and I think I've done other videos about, the three types of team members. There's the visual, and the visual can imagine the future, but they don't know how to implement it. The realist knows how to take the vision and implement it. So, the visionary, the dreamer is really a visionary. They're very visual, usually. And the realist is more kinesthetic. They can take a vision and turn it into reality, tangible, right? And then the critic can look at that and see everything that's wrong with that particular solution. Now, the dreamer and the realist have pretty good rapport because they kind of speak together. But the critic talks in statements. And so I'd like to give you a little clue about how you can handle the critic. So the critic will usually go look at the potential solution, and they'll say something like, well, we wouldn't want to have the same kind of problem we had the last time we tried this. And the dreamer and the realist are going to go, yeah, well, of course we wouldn't. What's your question? Critics make statements. We wouldn't want to have this happen, would we? Right? And what they're really asking is, how can we avoid having this kind of problem? So if they say, well, we wouldn't want to have the same sort of problem we had on this thing last year. The question is, and I learned this as a facilitator, I would just go, so you're asking, how can we avoid the kind of problem we had last year on this other thing? And they go, yeah. And the dreamer and the realist can answer how questions. The dreamer will change the dream, the realist will change the plan, and guess what? We move forward. Now, without doing that, the critic doesn't feel heard and will keep spouting this out. All right, so then they'll come up with the next one. Well, we wouldn't want to have that. And I'm saying, so you're asking, how do we avoid having that kind of thing happen? And the dreamer and the realist will just go change the plan. I just translate their statement into a question, and because that's what these two guys want. They want a question. No, we wouldn't want to have that kind of problem. What's your question? That's what they're asking, and then I just answer it. I go, well, how can we avoid this? Or how can we avoid that? Or how can we mitigate this potential problem? Is that what you're asking? And the critic will go, yeah. And the dreamer and the realist will just figure out how to do it. It's a very simple thing to do, is to change that statement into a question that other people can answer. So that's my improvement insight for this week, how to wrangle the critic by simply changing their statements into a how question. And guess what? You'll move forward. Try that with your critic. There's one in your life, I'm sure there is. And I'm Jay Arthur. See you next week.